What is going on, guys, and welcome back to this series. And I wanted to do an overlay at the start of this to show the coasters. I remember what I was doing in my mind, but the last two coasters have both been B&Ms. You see the dive there and then the invert before that. Of course, we had the wooden coaster before all of that, and then the arrow coaster a long time ago. So, of course, all of these have their own videos, but today, continuing, along with the theme of B&M, today we are trying our attempt at a wing coaster and Planet Coaster. Now, I have always loved this coaster model, and actually Gatekeeper was the only one I had been on forever, and I remember just driving up to Dollywood and seeing that blue track and being like, oh my goodness, that is a wing coaster that is not Gatekeeper. Just being so excited to ride it, and I absolutely love Wild Eagle, and I absolutely love Gatekeeper, two fantastic coasters. Don't know why that save load error happens, but it's actually pretty annoying sometimes. It's happened when I've tried to open a park, and it just completely boots me out. Excuse my email notification there. Let me put my phone back on silent. But we are going to start this wing coaster out just like a regular wing coaster. I want to do a wing over drop, but there is no inline twist that just does like one flip over. And it's absolutely ridiculous, because if you saw the video of me building the invert, I wanted to end that coaster with Banshee's inversion, which is basically a complete 360-degree twist, or an inline twist that gives some great hang time. There wasn't that in there either, so why is there 50 million pre-built inline twists, but none of them like start and end in like locations that make any sense? If that makes any sense to you. But so that one doesn't end up working, so of course, just like whatever happens when I can't find my own, I end up trying to build my own, and it works a little bit, but there's a kick to it. It's extremely weird, and I could not figure out how to fix this. Even when I have it go straight upside down, it keeps twisting to the left after that, and you're gonna see in the POV. So I'm literally begging you guys to just disregard that, because I could not figure out how to fix it. Like, I don't know if it does it in this one, but it does. It keeps twisting. It twists more than 180 degrees, and it's extremely weird, and I have no clue how to fix it. See, so I literally just tried to completely rebuild the drop there just to fix it, but it still ends up just like over twisting. It's the weirdest thing, and it's the biggest flaw with this coaster. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this, because I wanted to ride it just to see how bad it is. Yeah, it over twists, and then you see it sort of redirect itself back to level 0. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me, and I still end up building the entire coaster without that. But I really didn't have a layout plan when I went into this. When I went into the invert, and when I went into, even the wood coaster, I was replicating Ghost Rider a little bit, and even the dive coaster, I basically made Valraven. But in this is basically all freehand. I don't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to do like Gatekeeper's inversion right there, though, right after the drop, but they didn't have that in the game. So I said, hey, let me take the next best thing, which is basically a dive loop. So that sets us up to go 95 degrees to the right of the station. So the next thing that we can do, I thought about Thunderbird for this one. I take inspiration from multiple coasters when I build these. So there's some Gatekeeper and some Thunderbird inspiration already, and it goes through that honestly a little bit fast, especially that first inversion, but hey, I'm not worried about it. We can just say that it's hauling. So the next thing after that is I take inspiration again from Gatekeeper and build an Airtime Hill, because the reason I wanted to do that is because the not the inline twist, that little pre-built turnaround element ends so far above the ground. So I needed to think of something that would allow me to get like back level to the ground so I can pick up more speed. So I said, hey, how about we do an Airtime Hill that only goes up a little bit but goes down to the bottom at the end, just to sort of get me some more speed back. And that's basically like Gatekeeper's element. And I think here is actually when I first realized that it was over twisting on the drop, so I completely rebuilt it. So twice I've had to rebuild the coaster because it does that. And so if that doesn't prove to you that I couldn't figure out how to stop it from doing that, then I don't know what does. So please just bear with me through that. I know it's annoying, but I can't figure out. I could not figure out. Like, I'm sitting here trying to smooth it, trying to adjust it, and I cannot figure out, like, why does it over twist? It makes zero sense. But anyways, I think we're just going to continue on building it. I was like, you know what, I give up. So I end up building the Airtime Hill a little bit smaller because I want to give some decent airtime. Gatekeeper gives some decent airtime on a good day, and Wild Eagle did not on the Airtime Hills, which was actually like pretty surprising. There were some spots in there that I just remember getting some great airtime in. But I want to make sure that you get some nice airtime here, but it is not a B&M Hyper, and it's a B&M Wing Coaster, so we don't want to give too much. And I think it actually ended up doing it the perfect speed when you see the off-ride shots, if not in this video, in the other video that I post out, not after this video but after the RMC video that has off-ride shots from all of these coasters, that just shows how beautiful and immersive Planet Coaster is. And I cannot wait for that video. I know you guys, I have been teasing that for a while, but trust me, this RMC video after this, that's what I'm looking forward to voiceover. I might do it right after this because I enjoyed making that. But I'm doing this wing coaster now and just adding on to this park, and I already have that video made, so all of the coasters are already complete in the park except this Intamin Giga coaster that I keep teasing as well, because I think I want to do that because when I go to build my sandbox park, I want to do like the B&M Giga, the entrance to like Fury does where it flies by. So that's the plan I have for that. So I was like, hey, if I don't do that, then I might as well just add an Intamin Giga to this park, and that'd be another nice addition. And then when I'm not playing Call of Duty, oh, here's the annoying glitch where, is that why I backed out? It's in this video where I cannot find the inversion that does not, I can't find the inversion I'm looking for, and I accidentally keep going on one of these glitched inversions that just causes the game to crash. Like, you cannot push B to back out of it, you literally can't do anything, and it is so annoying. I really hope the developers know about this and fix it. But I wanted to do that there, but I realized we might as well turn back because this will be a very like long out and back wing coaster if I don't. And here I had the inversion selected for a split second and I jumped off of it, but it still didn't let me like use my controls, which is completely weird. And I'm seeing this now as I'm recording it that this one is a little bit more sped up than the rest of my videos, but that's not a problem. Honestly, I'll see how this one plays out more, and if it's a little bit smoother, then I'll keep doing it like that. So because I was looking for Gatekeeper's little turnaround inversion, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it sort of goes up and does basically what this is. I don't even know if it's considered an inversion, but it twists and then does a little turnaround and comes back the other way. That's what I was trying to make because I honestly didn't know what else to do to get it to turn around. So that's what I end up doing, and I think it ends up coming out pretty nice. The problem isn't in the actual twisting itself, it's in how it bellows out on the bottom. Like, that doesn't end up being completely smooth. But with the smoothing tool and just being able to pre-build this, like, I think it comes out pretty well. And again, I'm going to keep talking about that in every video, how I feel like that wasn't a feature that you could do in Planet Coaster PC, or at least when I played Planet Coaster PC, I felt like I couldn't get the banking past 120, or it wouldn't let me create inversions somehow. So the fact that I have the freedom to basically create whatever I want in this game is amazing, and the smoothing tool works much better in this one than it did on PC. Again, I might have to reopen Planet Coaster PC, even though I did have that one Let's Play not too long ago, but just to see if the smoothing tool has changed at all. So again, you see me trying to rebuild this element just because I like my realism in the coasters to be as smooth as possible. Like, I'm not really into scenery, so being able to place trees and really care about how the coaster looks as a whole is really beneficial to my whole sandbox Let's Play series as a whole, and just playing this game as a whole, because I will really, while I'm waiting for my friend's game to finish in Call of Duty, I will boot up Planet Coaster and just look around this park. Like, oftentimes I'm in Planet Coaster just watching this park. So I don't know, how did that end up? Because it's sped up, I can't really tell, but because I'm going forward and there's the glitch again, it is so frustrating because that's the only way you can fix it, and I really hope that they release a patch, because I noticed that if you watch the first episode where I build the Corkscrew coaster, or it might even be the coaster tutorial, and there it goes, happens again just because I selected it, or it might be the coaster tutorial, but I realized it in that mode and I was like, oh wow, I hope they fix this. And that has been, I don't want to say a month. No, definitely not a month, but like a week, at least a week and a half back, or a few weeks back. So hopefully this gets fixed. And I'm not trying to select it. I'm literally just trying to find the 0G roll that I just had like 5 minutes ago. I'm literally just trying to find the 0G roll, and I cannot do it without accidentally scrolling past one of these inversions. And this is just so annoying. Oh, not the 0G roll, excuse me, the corkscrew. Because Gatekeeper has like a large scale corkscrew, and I decided not to go that way, so I do that. So Gatekeeper has a large scale corkscrew that is sort of just like flows through, and I like. In this game, I feel like it goes a little, or on this coaster, I feel like it goes a little bit too fast through it. But I don't completely hate it. And now, looking at the amount of space I had to work with, I realized I wanted to do that turnaround, but instead I just end up making my own little helix. And for some reason, the glitch happens again. I mean, it's just really frustrating at this point. And I hope I didn't save a million versions of the same file, because that's going to be confusing. Honestly, that would have worked for what I ended up building, but I think I decided to just build my own helix, and don't tell me, it happened again. So this was the episode. I think I might have said it in the inverted coaster live comm. I was like, and in this episode, because I must have just finished building the wing coaster when I was voicing that one over, but I was like, and this video is extremely annoying because the glitch happens. And then I was like, oh, it must not be this video that it happens. But I knew that there was one video where it completely like happened 20 times in a row, and we found that video. Again, I want to thank you guys for the support on these videos. At this current time, the last one that was uploaded was the inverted coaster. I finished voicing over the which one was before this? The dive coaster, which it has the same colors as this wing coaster right now. I end up making it yellow, and honestly probably something ugly, some ugly support color. But just thank you guys so much for the support, because I know I'm going to keep releasing these. I enjoy making these. Planet Coaster Console is so fun to game, or so fun to play and showcase. And the fact that on that inverted coaster the audio wasn't synced, like it literally screwed up, and I was so upset. I was literally so down on myself about that. I was like, that's going to ruin, you know, my favorite coaster that I've built in a while. I was so upset about that. But the fact that people were still saying nice job, and people saying, even telling me that they love my work, like that was absolutely amazing. So I appreciate the support, and we're gonna keep grinding. I've been scheduling uploads like across weeks. I've been really trying to keep like not a consistent upload schedule, but a consistent wait time between videos. And just I've been enjoying playing Planet Coaster Console, and while I'm at home and I can sit here and record videos, I'm gonna keep doing that. Sorry, if my audio like gets quiet like this, is because I'm not talking right into my mic, because my Xbox Series X is a little bit to the left, so just looking over at it while talking about it. That's what's going on. So there's that 0G, and it is really weird shaped in this game. Until I realized, if you were standing, next time I pan on the 0G, just think about it. Like if you're standing at Cedar Point's entrance and you look at Gatekeeper's 0G, it is pretty, like it does go up pretty steep like that. Like I wanted it to be more gradual, but it does go up pretty steep like that. I still wish it could be more gradual. And oh, do I end up creating a cool near miss? I do, because I have to go under that track for the brake run. So again, if you've seen my videos, I cannot stay on topic to save my life. I'm sorry. But I like to extend out my brake runs, like, and then I even create a little Airtime Hill there. So after the 0G, oh wow, I'm even turning. So this is a skill I adopted in the last dive coaster video. I made like an Airtime Hill and the whole turn like coming out, basically building out to where I know I'm at. And the one thing I know I want to do is I've taken a lot of Gatekeeper inspiration and only one Thunderbird inspiration, so I'm going to go back to Thunderbird and I'm going to create this inline twist. And this ends up coming out extremely weird, but I do have a shot of it in the video I'm talking about, so couldn't have been that bad. But once I smooth this out, like I feel like if I really could sit there and spam the smooth tool forever. And I think did that go through a little bit too slow? But I want to make sure there's some hang time on this. But I feel like I could spam the smooth tool and maybe get it to be alright. But it was actually going too fast through the 0G roll. Like, I watched it and, like, it was almost like snap neck fast. And that was actually a little bit slow, I think. So I end up changing the trims. And this is actually the first coaster I've built that I just went back and added trims to it. And they're not even, like, realistic trims. Like, it's not even one little trim break. That's a whole big section. I'm sorry about that. It would only let me do it on the one section. But I end up retrying to do this inline twist a little bit lower to the ground, just because even though it's like a wing coaster, it doesn't have to be too high off the ground to give the hang time, just because of how massive the car is. So there we go. There's my own built little wing coaster, and now that's why this ends up looking so weird, because that's how I end up tying it off. And then I use the smooth tool to make it not as weird, but it's still like, that's still a weird section of track right there. So that Airtime Hill actually was like way too high, and this is actually like a perfect little airtime moment to end off of. Like, I'm extremely happy how that turned out. I did not want there to be an Airtime Hill there at all. So that's an extremely weird section of track, but it does go over the Airtime Hill with a decent amount of speed. Hopefully I'm about to fix the color scheme. But I think I am just watching how it goes through first. I love that Airtime Hill, and I feel like it's so smooth. Excuse me, I don't mean to hit my desk button every time I do. Yeah, that's extremely wonky. So hopefully smoothing out makes it not look terrible, at least. And there's sometimes where, like, I don't know if it's done it specifically in this, but I remember it happening recently where I was smoothing out. I don't know if it was an inversion or something I banked, and it completely changed it. So I don't know if maybe there was a flash patch to do that. They need to patch that other glitch, but that's just something I noticed. So I want the trains to be 8 cars long, because I don't, even though it's Thunderbird 5 or 6, isn't it? I know it's shorter, but I don't want it to be 6. I want it to be 8 long, just like a regular B&M wing coaster. So once I fix that, I end up modifying the brake run after, just because to make it bigger. That looks like a long train for only being 8 long. Then just reattaching everything there. Adding 2 trains. And oh, that was just a straight track. I remember that I forgot to make it a block run or a block break, so that would not have been good. It would have been hauling into the station. So this is just my first little POV, and I still have, honestly, the Gatekeeper color scheme on accident, but it's matching the dive coaster that's off in the distance. I love not increasing the chain speeds, actually, because even though, like, I'm sure the newer dive coasters have faster chain speeds than are in this, the older ones like Wild Eagle don't, and I don't know, something so menacing about the slower chain speeds even in this game. It just adds to the immersion for me. And I know that's a word that I use a lot with this game, but the fact that COVID has closed so many theme parks, and I build like sort of Banshee, like an invert that reminds me of Banshee, and just watching that section that looks like it flows through it exactly like it and sounds like it, and just the game does such a good aspect of that. Building realistic coasters is extremely fun. So yeah, that's the color scheme I end up using. I almost went with like a neon green, because just recently before I built this, there was an Instagram post I saw about that neon green wing coaster, and I ended up linking a POV of it. But we are getting towards the home stretch. We are done with the building process, so of course now that means I just have to place trees. I don't think I end up doing any rocks with this thing, but of course I'd use more than one type of tree. This one I really like because it's wide, and so that just means it takes up a lot of space, but it's not very high in the air, so I can place it very freely. And then this one I like because it's got some like toothpick stems going into the ground, but it's pretty tall and it's a decent size. And like I said in my last video, I like just using like multiple trees. I never want to just place one tree. And there I had to just make sure that it didn't like go right into that turnaround, and I think it did a really nice job with how it came out. So of course now I'm just using the fine trees to place in places where I couldn't place the big trees, and already just like zooming out, and I love how these come out and how they look. And now I just gotta add one more big tree because I feel like there's some more spots where I can add a big tree, plus just getting other types of trees used and just getting myself familiar with the scenery tab. Like I said in the last video, I am still not familiar with, like, if you were to have me go pick the trees I just used in that menu, I wouldn't be able to do it, even though this is my third coaster now, or third coaster that I put trees. So that banking is so weird, and I really wish there was a way to fix that, because it's so hard to overlook. But just please overlook it. I couldn't do anything about it. But this is actually gonna wrap up. We are getting really extremely close to the POV. I think I'm just fast forwarding till it gets to the daytime, and this shot right here is just absolutely beautiful with the wing over drop. And I love this park. I will go into this. I will remember this forever. Just playing a coaster console right now. It's so fun, and just building this content. I love making it. Just like a vlog at a park I've never been to. But that is going to do it. And be sure to enjoy the POV. I will be back for the outro though. So, wow, that was not the smoothest coaster. I'm honestly a little bit disappointed in myself with that, but still, just from the off-ride and from the actual layout itself, I feel like it's a very feasible coaster, and I'm still actually extremely happy with how it came out. But there was just some pre-built stuff that I feel like I couldn't have made any smoother. So I wish I could have done something about it, but it does look nice, and just, oh my goodness, that drop is so annoying. I really just wish I could do something about it, and that's very unfortunate that I can't. But right now, I think I'm actually just speeding through, just trying to get some nice shots of this. I don't know if I take you on the ride. Yes, I do. I do take you on the flat ride, the observation tower that I've placed in this, just because every episode, I feel like it's more and more necessary, especially as we place more and more in the park. It's just such a nice sight to see. And here again, I'm going through all the rides. There's my wooden coaster, the very first one, the invert, the second one, and probably still my favorite one. There's the dive coaster. I feel like it came out so well and so realistic how that one looks, and then the wing coaster that we just added. So here's something I wanted to test. So the Oswald Eugene counter is basically how much you can put in your park. And I was extremely surprised by how low that number still was. because that means I'll definitely be able to build a sandbox as full as I want it. If I'm only, I think it was like 20 something percent with all of this stuff in the park and all of these trees, and there's a wooden coaster which generates more, excuse me, pixels than like any of the other rides, so it's more taxing. So just knowing that number was that low is actually amazing. But I am actually going to be quiet. I'm going to say my outro. I'm going to say like, comment, and subscribe. I have an RMC video coming right after this, and then I have a video that showcases all of these rides and how immersive this whole experience on Planet Coaster Console is. But just enjoy this overview of the park, and I will see you guys in the next video.